Hey everybody, today we're going to learn how to do a rubric in Google Classroom. So I'm in my practice class now as a teacher. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create an assignment that I would score using Google Rubrics. So let me get that set up, test assignment, and put any directions in there I would want to have. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click Rubric to create a rubric. And to do that, it's going to set up your criterion. So for example, my first criterion might be complete sentences. And then I would describe that. Responses, use complete sentences. And I'm going to make this a pretty simple rubric. Students get 1 point for yes. And my description is student used complete sentences. And then I'm going to add a second point for 0. No, student did not use complete sentences. Okay, that sets up a criterion. I have a typo there. Let me get that. Okay, so this is a 2 point. Now you'll notice up here that it tells you your total points is 1 for this particular criterion and 1 for your rubric. So let's say I want to add another criterion in now. And this one will be completion of all questions. Response includes a complete answer for every question. And let's make this a 3-point option. I'm going to call this exemplary. And an exemplary answer has responses for every question, and all responses are correct. For 2 points, let's call this one well done. Responses for every question with some minor errors. 1 point, meh. Partially responded. Responses are partially complete. And 0, call this none. No responses. Okay, so that's my second criterion. I'm going to add a third criterion, and I'm going to call this criterion typing skills. My description again, responses are well typed. As you can see, I would not score well in this one. And again, I'm going to make this one 10 points. Superb. Answers are well typed. And then I'm going to make it an all or nothing. 0 points here, none. Responses were not well typed. You can also edit these criterions with the 3 little dots down here. You can delete a level if you put something in you decide you don't want, or you want to take it out and go from like 3 to 2. You can also use these 3 dots up here to copy a section or delete a whole section. So let's say I like typing skills and I also want to do another section using the same criteria, and I'm going to call this one fluency of response. Response was fluid. Answers are fluid or not. Should make that R to be consistent. So again, you can, if you spend a lot of time, especially on your descriptions and your points, and you want to just use that section over and over and change the title of it, that's where the duplicate function is. You could also move the criterion up if you decide you want to reorder it. So once you're finished, click Save, and then you will see that your rubric is here. Now you do need to adjust the points for your assignment if you want to make it match the rubric. So this one is 24 points. So I'm going to change this to 24. If not, if I leave it 100, I believe the rubric will scale that to make it match. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that it does. So I've got my assignment created, my points. I'll set my due date for this day and that time. I don't have topics created, so I won't put it under there. And then I will click Assign. And so we see the assignment in my Google Classroom. So in the teacher side, if you click on that and you go down and click on Rubric, you will see your rubric with all of your criteria there and everything you need to see. You can edit that. If you see, oh, I have a typo, I made a mistake with that, you can click Edit and you can go in and it'll take you back to that same location. Call this Very Complete Sentences. Click Save, and then it's going to make that change. So that's what we see from the teacher side on creating a rubric. If I go down here to my practice class, go down here to the practice class, which is the student side. Now I'm a student. Here's my assignment, and I can see the rubric, and I can click on that rubric, and I can see how I'm going to be scored on this particular assignment. So that's how to create a Google rubric to use when scoring your work. Next, we'll talk about how to actually do the scoring on Google Rubric.